The day I realized the church had outgrown the man, the crowd was still shouting his name. I did not grow up in RCCG. I studied it later as part of my work and personal search. I read old records, I spoke to members, I attended services, I walked the camp roads. What I am writing is what I saw, heard, and verified. This is not a rumor story. This is a record told from close range. Day 1, 1952. The Redeemed Christian Church of God did not start big. It started in Lagos in 1952. The founder was Josiah Olufemi Akindayomi. He was a poor man. He was not educated. He could not read or write well. He was a carpenter by trade. Akindayomi said God called him after he became sick. He said God healed him and gave him a name for a church. He said God spoke the words, the Redeemed Christian Church of God. At the start, the church was small. Very small. They met in houses. They prayed for long hours. They fasted. They believed the end of the world was near. There was no ambition for growth, no media, no politics. The fear then was simple: hell. The second phase: order and control. Akindayomi believed strongly in visions and dreams. He ruled the church with personal authority. There was no written system. What he said was final. Members trusted him fully. Some people left, some stayed. The church grew slowly, mostly among poor people. Before Akindayomi died in 1980, he claimed God showed him his successor. The name was written down: Enoch Adejare Adeboye. The turning point, 1981. Adeboye was not like Akindayomi. Adeboye was educated. He had a PhD in mathematics. He was calm, soft-spoken, organized. I saw old photos. The difference was clear. Adeboye took over in 1981. At first, nothing changed. Then everything changed. Adeboye believed the church should grow, not just in Nigeria, everywhere. This was the start of the system, growth by design. Under Adeboye, RCCG adopted rules. Every area had a pastor. Every pastor answered to someone higher. Everything reported upward. The rule was simple: no questioning authority. Church planting became aggressive. Every parish must plant another parish, then another. Growth became proof of God's favor. By the 1990s, RCCG had entered universities, cities, and professional spaces. Educated people joined. The tone changed. Fear of hell slowly became fear of missing out. The camp years. The redemption camp became the center. I visited the camp for the first time in the early 2000s. It was shocking. What started as a prayer ground became a city. Banks, schools, houses, roads, security. Holy Ghost Night became the symbol of power. Millions gathered monthly. I watched how the crowd responded to Adeboye. Silence when he raised his hand, cheers when he spoke. People falling without being touched. Nothing illegal, nothing violent, but very strong control through belief. Structure replaces spirit. As RCCG grew, systems hardened, titles increased, ranks increased. Pastors were moved like staff. Members were taught loyalty. Living quietly was rare. Living loudly was dangerous. Stories followed those who left, not from records, from whispers. The church denied critics publicly. Members handled the rest. Global expansion. By the 2010s, RCCG was everywhere: Europe, America, Asia. The message stayed the same, but the style adapted. Prosperity language grew. Obedience stayed. Adeboye aged, but the system did not slow. I realized something during one Holy Ghost night. The church no longer needed Adeboye to survive. That is what scared me. Till date today, RCCG is one of the largest churches in the world. Millions of members, thousands of parishes. Officially, it is peaceful, law-abiding, organized. And that is true. The fear is not in crime. The fear is in skill. A small prayer group became a global machine powered by belief, order, and silence. I do not say this church is evil. I say this church is powerful. And power, when it grows beyond questions, always changes shape. I was there long enough to see the shape change.